All right, welcome back. So, in the previous part, we were trying to get this uh, ball of skeletons. We were trying to find this guy, but unfortunately, we were having some issues. So I decided to come back and try it out with I think his name was Mercasio or something, the slow dagger one. And he seems to be a pretty good pick for this boss type thing. So that ball of skeletons will eventually grow to encompass almost the entire screen if you give it enough time. I believe it only grows when it's collecting enemies. So it taking out enemies is bad. But when it's not on the screen, like if it's far away from where you are, the enemies aren't going, it's not going to be collecting enemies. So it won't get any larger until you get close enough to it. Fortunately, we did die at least once, maybe twice at this point. But thankfully, we do have revives, and that appears to be it for the giant mass of skeletons. So, here is the Forbidden Scrolls of Morbane. So this is essentially, this allows you to unlock things without actually having to unlock them, as long as you know the code or the secret code that goes with it. So, we'll be back with your regularly scheduled program. Okay, we are back. And this episode, I think we're going to be doing Peppino. So Peppino is interesting in the sense that uh, they are very slow. So they're not going to be very useful for running around and doing a bunch of stuff. So let's see. I have a feeling we're gonna want to do something like the Inlaid Library. We could do hyper mode, but I'm actually kind of thinking that I want to do a no move run with Peppino and just see how far we get. So, let's see here. What do we want to take that would be beneficial to us? You might want to take beginning. So, all right, this might not be the most interesting run, but it could still be interesting just to see how we do. So, knives are really not helpful here. Neither is the Shadow Pinion. So I guess we're gonna take laurels. I'm kind of thinking Santa Water. Because we're going to want to take let's take armor. We're going to want to take the Attract Orb. Now here's the thing. We're not going to be able, if we do this no movement challenge, we're not going to be able to actually upgrade any of our items. I don't particularly like any of these. I'm gonna re-roll. I guess, yeah, let's take the book. So I'm choosing very defensive items because, I mean, it just makes the most sense for this type of run. Alright, I kind of like the idea of getting the Attract Orb. I think that makes sense. So, we're going to be kind of sitting here for quite a bit, or at least until we end up getting attacked and eventually die. One way or another, we're going to die. I mean, to be fair, death kind of comes for us all in this game, so... do we want Attract Orb again? Might be a good choice. Try and get that up, get more levels. Candelabra would be pretty handy here as well. Speak of the devil. Although I don't think the devil is actually in this game. The Reaper is, but don't consider those to be the same thing. Now, Peppino has very, very slow movement speed. So that's the main reason why I kind of want to just do a no movement run. Just because I've tried doing a normal run with Peppino, but maybe it was the fact that I was doing it in the bone zone, but I ended up triggering one of those guardian things, and they can outrun you, and if they touch you, it's instant death, basically. So, yeah. So, let's see, at this point, I think October will be over. I'm pretty sure by the time this episode goes up, October will be over. Castlevania 3 will be over by that point. I don't know if we really care about Spellbinders since we're not going to really be upgrading. So let's just take an extra level in Laurel. Alright, this is going to be the true test, is the bosses. Let's take Santa Water. Okay, cool. Sadly, we could not pick up that chest. Unfortunately, Attract Orb does not really help you in that case. So, as far as the series is going, obviously we're getting close to the point of running out of characters, and that's kind of been the main sort of drive to the series, is how many characters we have left. Well, when we kind of run out of characters, the only real reason to come back to the series is if they add new characters and stuff, and it does sound like they're planning on doing that type of expanding the game even more, although I'm not quite sure how they expand it more. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot that you could do. It's just a matter of what do they think they could add that wouldn't make the game too bloated. And obviously it's a roguelike type game, so bloat is just kind of the nature of the game. But I don't know. We'll see. So by that point, Castlevania 3 and Mario 2 will be done, which I'm pretty happy that I finally got back to the Mario series. I want to try and make Mario games a bit more of a frequent thing, at least not like every 3 years or something, because I'd never get through the series. I'd love to get to like Odyssey and some of the 3D games. I mean, Galaxy is one of my favorite Mario games, so it wouldn't be doing the series justice if I didn't at least get to that game, right? Exactly. So we could take Laurel, we could take armor, we could take the axe. Not sure if it's necessary. I'm not sure what I want to do. That's the thing. We have 2 defensive items. With technically 3 if you count the books. The books I would consider a more of a defensive weapon in this game. I just don't know how beneficial the axes will be. Especially since we won't be evolving them. Or at least that's not the plan. I guess, yeah, let's take them. They're a bit more sporadic, but I think it'll be fine. The other thing to consider is the whip. The whip would help keep enemies to our left and right. Yeah, let's go for a whip. Why not? Alright. Let's take Empty Tome. Don't really need to go Laurel yet. I think we're perfectly set up at the moment. Most of these green blob things won't make it past the I think we do take Duplicator here just because we have 4 weapons that could benefit from it. Laurel's won't, and I'm not quite sure the garlic, evolved garlic stuff will be benefited either. That looked like a new explodey animation by those bomb ghosts. So really the only way that we're ever going to pick up a chest is if an enemy dies right on top of us. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. At least it's probably less likely to happen. So, when Mario and Castlevania series are up, I need to figure out what I want to do next, you know? Because obviously I have the large Factorio series going on right now, and I've been on a little bit of a recording break from it, although I've had so much material that I can do that reasonably and be fine. Yeah, let's take Brazier. Obviously I have the EU4 Congo series, which I have a fair amount of content for as well. So maybe I'll just kind of let that stuff kind of go through as I take sort of a break. Recording. Obviously, I don't plan on taking a break from actually uploading. Just because I enjoy it. I don't usually get burnout. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers will like go for a while and then they'll take a break or something, but I don't know. I just don't really get that type of burnout very often. And even then, like when I went on my trip earlier in the summer of 2022, I had like everything sort of recorded and ready to go. Oh man, but getting that all uploaded was such a pain in the butt because my internet was so bad. I was very surprised that I got everything uploaded and ready to go for essentially 3 full weeks. 3 or 4 weeks, I don't remember exactly how long it was. Yeah, let's take Duplicator. So many axes. So, anyways, the reason why I sort of bring that up is, I mean, I had like essentially 3 to 4 weeks of downtime, so I wasn't really doing a whole lot during that. Like, not a lot of YouTube related stuff. I think the only major thing that I kind of worked on was our Pokemon Switch back collab thing that I did with Rando. And even then, that was like minimal compared to what I primarily do. That series, just recorded a few more episodes today, actually, or tomorrow, or yesterday, yeah. Tomorrow, today, yesterday, they all kind of blend together. And so that series is coming along pretty well. It's probably within 10 episodes from being complete, though. I don't know for sure how long it's gonna last. It just kind of depends on how long, how I edit things. Because we still have, at this point, from where I'm at in the series, I have 2 gyms, and I have to finish off the legendaries, and then I need to fight Red, which I'm not looking forward to. That's just such a tough fight that is gonna take some preparation for. Let's just go with that. Thankfully, it seems like our books are staying like active a lot, so that's nice to see. Wish we had I wish the garlic was stronger longer through the playthrough, or through the run. That's the one downside with the garlic, is after the early part of the run, it kind of is not great. Alright. So, ooh, more laurels. Yay. I mean, at this point, we're just kind of filling stuff out. There's really, like... There's really not a lot of thought being put into, like, what I evolve, what I upgrade. These, like, these are all pretty much the same thing to me. Here's the thing: we're going to be able to upgrade everything. It's very unlikely at this point that these enemies in particular will manage to actually hurt us. In fact, the other series that I'm doing at the moment, Spyro, is actually getting pretty close to finishing as well. That's definitely within the next, like, 5 to 7 episodes, probably. Because I just started the, I recorded today, got probably about 2 to 3 episodes recorded, depending on how I edit it. But that's within at least 5 to 7 episodes from being finished as well. So I just entered the second to last world in the game. So we'll see. We'll see what I want to do next. Been kind of on a like old school game binge lately. Because obviously I did Castlevania 3 and then Mario 2. And Pokemon Crystal. So I don't know. Might be seeing another series that we did a long time back, and might just go back to that one as well. Who knows? Or we might go to a different series, or a new game, or something. I don't know. We'll see. The future has endless possibilities. I am looking forward to it, though. Like, there's just so many games that I'd love to do for this channel. It's just, I don't want to go through all the games at once. One, that would just be a lot to handle. But two, I have to, actually practice the game and be semi-competent at it. Because even the games that I am semi-competent at, I still screw up. Definitely the biggest surprise lately has been the Factorio series. I was, like, obviously I know Factorio is a pretty popular game and all that. I'm just kind of surprised, like, how well it's done. Because it's my Factorio Bobs and Angels run. And I've been enjoying it a lot. And as I said, I've taken a little bit of a break as of this recording. Although I might be going back to it here soon-ish. Trying to get back into the game. Alright, we've successfully made it halfway through the run without moving. All the chests are taunting us. So I'm just gonna set it to, like, auto heal basically on level up, just to kind of make my life easier. The other thing with not moving and not being able to pick up chests is we're not going to get any of the arcanas. So The Arcana that we chose, pretty much the only thing that's the only Arcana that we're gonna have the entire run, unless, you know, one of the bosses drops it right on us, which, you know, could happen. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen before. Is this all you got? Honestly, I'd kind of like to see, like, the stats of how many of these, how many of the different levels that I've done for this playthrough. Because I imagine at least half of them are probably the inlaid library. It's just, I find this to be probably the best map for unlocking new things that don't require you to be on a specific map. Just because it just allows you to kind of funnel the enemies into two directions, more or less. Yeah, you just have less to deal with from the top or the bottom. Which, I don't know. I just find this to be the most enjoyable map, personally. Maybe it's just the enemies are easier here compared to some of the other ones. I don't know, like, even... Is it Mad Forest? I think they're Mad Forest or Mad Grove or whatever it is. The first level. I find that one to be harder than this one. And that's supposed to be the first level and be a little easier. Okay, so it looks like... I think the enemies have stopped dropping XP. There's probably so much XP just off the edge of the screen. So everything's collecting in one experience, or one gem. Which, you know, is fine, although I'd kind of prefer if it wasn't doing that. For the fact that I'd like to ensure that we can heal kind of whenever. But I guess it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Again, this isn't like a run that I'm planning on beating. This is just a fun challenge run. We'll see how well prepared we are once it gets to like 25 to 29 minutes. And then at that point, I have a feeling we won't make it, since none of our weapons are evolved other than our starting weapon. And even then, that is pretty inconsequential. I do like that the Santa Water kind of helps extend our range of our garlic, essentially, because it's a secondary protective barrier. Okay, so here's the true test. Yeah, looks like this guy's gonna get repelled. I think the old witch, like the grody looking old witch, is going to be the true test. Obviously, we're not going to beat the Reaper, since we don't have the item for it. You definitely have to have like the oh, I can't even remember what it's called, the lance, the chrono lance or something. All right, he's dead. 9 minutes to go. Yeah, because you definitely have to have that item in order to win. In order to beat the Reaper, you have to at least have that. The laurels obviously are very helpful and will save your life, but they're not essential as long as you have good timing. You keep up a pattern of circling around him with the Chrono Lance. Game really doesn't have all that many interesting enemies here. I can't remember what these things, their names technically are. I want to say they're like buyers or something. They're really annoying in the Castlevania games. They often are like on stairs and stuff. And they can be very awkward to handle or to deal with when they're like rolling down the stairs at a fast speed with very little notice. I remember them being in Aria of Sorrow. And were they in Symphony? I want to say they might have been. I'm pretty sure they're in like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night as well. Those they're definitely in that one, in that game, which, you know, technically isn't a Castlevania, but kind of is in name, in all but name. That's a fantastic series, or fantastic couple games that I'd really like to get to. I kind of want to do Curse of the Moon and Ritual of the Night at the same time, just because though they have, the only thing they really share are like characters and enemies, because they're technically alternate universes. I think they just kind of complement each other, because Curse of the Moon is obviously inspired by classic Vania, while Ritual of the Night is inspired by the Metroidvanias. Mow them down. Yeah, I think it was the right choice to go for all these defensive items, defensive weapons. Imagine taking, like, the Shadow Pinion. It'd be so useless. Like, it's already not a great weapon, in my opinion. But the fact that they offered it to us when, you know, we have such a low speed, movement speed, just, it would have been awful. Because I don't think it'll launch unless you're, like, holding in a certain direction. Oh, oh, oh. Boss is attacking us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we have one revive. Not sure it's going to be enough, though, to take this thing out. So, well, I'll be honest, I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. Just because I don't think that boss gets knocked back nearly as much as the other bosses. So you're kind of required to kind of keep moving around to avoid them. So, oh well. I mean, we still made it 25 minutes. Like, I would say that was still a very successful run. So, in the next part, we're going to be doing Gaines Boros. Looks like he has the holy sword thing. So, I mean, pretty fun run, I would say. We got 3 characters left, although I think there's one character that we haven't unlocked that we need to unlock. And there's a few other items. Defeat the final enemy in the Capella Magna, complete the collection. That will unlock Queen Sigma, which we need in order to get this one. Defeat 100,000 enemies in a single run with Queen Sigma. And then we need to find the Great Gospel, which I think we more or less do in when we do this part. So I have a feeling these next 3 are going to be sort of dedicated to trying to get those unlocks finished. So all right. I think I'm going to put a cut in here, and then in the next part we will do gains. The gains. All right. Thanks for watching.